June26th.
Covering Grand Cayman, no Cayman, on right.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Talk Today is brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history. Explore your land. Explore your sister islands. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital. Always there for you. Call 949-6066.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk Today.
What's on your mind, Cayman? If you're ready to talk, we are ready to listen. Discussing current events and local news, community spotlights, hot topics, listener stories, cultural and historical discussions, environmental issues, fun and lighthearted topics, guest interviews. Cayman, basically anything you want to talk about, we are ready to listen. Here's your host, Charles Glidden.
Coming up, the ASI Cayman Business and Careers Expo. And I'll be talking with the man who put Radio Cayman on the air. Live from the Loxley Banks Broadcasting Center, Talk Today is next. Stay with me.
Talk Today is reminding you
to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
And now, back to Talk Today.
Good afternoon and welcome to Talk Today. I'm Charles Glidden. Glad you can tune in. It's a hot and dusty Friday. Yeah, that Sahara plume has blown into the Northwest Caribbean, messing with the air. Air quality out there today is not good, especially for anyone with any kind of respiratory condition. Well, it was a big morning here at Radio Cayman this morning. Our building was rededicated and renamed the Loxley Banks Broadcasting Center. And I'll be talking with Loxley a little later in the show. If you are out to find out more about businesses in Cayman, or maybe you're looking for career opportunities and training paths, well, you can do both this weekend at the ASI Cayman Business and Careers Expo 2026. And joining me now to give us some details on that is Rohan Riley, one of the directors of ASI Cayman. Welcome back. Welcome back back to the show.
yes. Thank you very much for having me.
So the Business and Careers Expo will be this weekend?
Yes, it's going to be on the 28th of June, which is this Sunday. And it starts at 2 p.m. at the Lion Center. And so we're inviting everyone to come out and join us at the Lion Center this Sunday at 2 p.m.
Tell us a little bit about ASI Cayman.
Well, ASI Cayman is a non-profit organization registered here in Cayman. And that's a group of Adventist business and professional persons who come together to serve the community in a number of ways. One of the things we do is that we do community events. We are involved a lot in youth mentoring. We're involved in health promotion. We're involved in developing our members to serve the community. Our motto is sharing Christ in the marketplace. And that's, we are a group of Christian business people and professional members. And so what we say to our members is, you don't have to preach to share Christ. Through your daily interactions with your customers and your clients, we encourage them and show them how they can impart the spirit of Christ in their workplaces.
So from what you just said there, then I imagine you are very much about being ethical in business practices.
Of course. And so that's our members, as I said earlier this week, is that when you apply to be a member of ASI, we go through an application process. There are certain guidelines, but one of the primary objectives of ASI is to encourage our members to practice their business and also their professional life with strong ethics, representing the Christ who they serve. But of course, there are other objectives that we have. Our objectives also, and this is part of it this weekend, is to actually help our members to develop professionally and also in their businesses, to facilitate networking with them, commercial activity, get them to be known in the community. And of course, as ASI is an organization of the Adventist Church, so we also work along with the church as far as doing missionary projects, as far as doing educational projects, and also, as you know, the Adventists are very much into health promotion.
Of course.
And so health promotion is a very big part of what we do. So we encourage people. We have a lot of seminars, a lot of workshops, a lot of just coming in and talking to folks about what are the ways to maintain your health. And as you know, in our community, we practice what we call the 8 laws of health. At least most of us do, which though we find that if one adopts those health laws, not that you won't get sick, but you stand a good chance of living a fairly healthy and fulfilling life if you just from early begin to practice those health laws. And so we promote that very vigorously.
Yeah, if you do get sick, you can fight it off much better.
Exactly. Because I've even known persons who have practiced the health laws and they get cancer, because it's not a respect of persons. But going through the treatment, they were able to fight it off much better, because you're talking about these laws relate to what you eat, or you eat foods because food is medicine, right? And they say you should let your food be a medicine. If you eat food that is going to strengthen your body, you're talking about emphasizing a plant-based diet, and that sometimes that is not popular, but it has been proven that a plant-based diet is more amenable to good health. As a matter of fact, when you get sick and you go to the doctor, one of the first things he tells you is to eat more fruits and vegetables. And so a plant-based diet has been shown to be very, very effective in strengthening our bodies, helping us resist diseases, helping us reverse diseases also. A plant-based diet has been shown to do that. And so we encourage folks to consider that, and even if you don't go a fully plant-based diet, but at least on your plate, have more vegetables,
right?
Have more fruits. Let your plate be more colorful, not just a big chunk of meat and a lot of rice.
Typical Caribbean kind of meal, right?
A matter of fact, what we're finding out now, right? Because we are doing in studying the whole body and how the health works, is that a lot of the illnesses that Caribbean people suffer from predominantly are traceable to not only a strong meat diet, but also a strong carbohydrate diet. Because a lot of us are actually don't know it, but we actually have resistance to gluten.
Really?
Yes. We have found that a lot of people don't realize it, but
particularly in the Caribbean.
And so a lot of the diabetes and a lot of the so overall, if you look at gluten is basically is primarily in processed foods, biscuits and cakes and buns and so on. It's primarily in those things. And so in addition to going on a plant-based diet, we also have to look at how the amount of flour, the amount of sugar, the amount of salt that we are including in our diet. And one of the things that ASI, as you know, I serve ASI internationally. And one of the things that we are going to have featuring in our convention this year is that we're going to have a doctor, a functional medicine doctor, who's going to come and start us on a program. So, and we're going to open the program to the entire public. As soon as it's launched, it's going to be launched in August, and we're going to open it where people can actually get protocols on how you can eat, how you can exercise, and also get mentoring on losing weight, reversing diseases, and just living an energetic, healthy life. And we have worked with Dr. Orlando Thomas out of Jamaica, and he's coming with us, and he's going to help us develop this protocol and make it available. For 90 days, you can tune into this program and get that protocol on how to. Because we are very serious about helping the community to be healthy, and the Adventist message is primarily it's preaching and telling people, you have to serve God and be saved, but also showing you that when God made our bodies, He gave us a protocol on how to maintain it. It's like somebody made a car, They tell you how to keep it running right.
You got the manual.
Yeah, you got the manual. So, but some of us, we don't go. We follow our taste, taste buds, and we follow our feelings, and we don't follow the manual
without reading the manual.
Without reading the manual until it's broken down, and and we're stuck in a hospital bed. We start to think about it, but
well, we have to take a little break here, but we'll be right back, and we'll hear more about the ASI Cayman Business and Careers Expo.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Did you know there are over 100 Adventist-owned businesses right here in the Cayman Islands? Adventist entrepreneurs are making a powerful impact across Cayman. Join us on Sunday, June 28th at 2 p.m. at the Lion Center, Grand Cayman for the ASI Cayman Business and Career Expo. Explore products and services, enjoy exclusive discounts, free samples, giveaways, and exciting prizes. Need a wellness check? Enjoy free health screenings and relaxing massage therapy. Thinking about your future career? Young people, students, and job seekers, whether you're looking to grow your business, plan your future, network with professionals, or simply enjoy a great community event, this is the place to be. Admission is absolutely free. The ASI Cayman Business and Career Expo. Showcase, connect, succeed. Sunday, June 28th, 2 p.m. at the Lion Center. For more information, visit asicayman.interamerica.org.
Hey, what's up, Radio Cayman? It's Jay sending warm wishes on your 50th anniversary. I remember back in the days doing Youth Flex every week after school with Mr. Jamo and Mr. Joel, promoting my music and sporting events. It's been a wonderful journey, and I'm thrilled to celebrate it with you. Thank you for your continued support and inspiring our community. Cheers to many more years. Happy 50th anniversary, Radio Cayman. Love and blessings.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and in the studio with me is Rohan Riley. He's one of the directors of ASI Cayman, which is sponsoring Business and Careers Expo this weekend, the ASI Cayman Business and Careers Expo 2026. We were talking about the work of ASI Cayman. Does it do business coaching for its members?
Yes, certainly. We have within our membership businesses that actually do business counseling or consultancy business and so on. So if somebody is even if you're just thinking about starting a business, right? You can talk to us and we can say, okay, what is your passion? What do you like to do? What are you thinking of doing? Help you determine if there's a demand for that service. Help you determine what is your competitive advantage. Help you develop a business plan to look at your strengths and weaknesses and so on. And also guide you through the process of getting your business registered, getting your business compliant with the various laws. And then also guiding you along the path of marketing. Because, marketing, if your business isn't marketed, then You know, a lot of people think business is having a nice office or a nice car or a nice but really, all you really need to have a good business are customers. So you have to market, and so we talk about how we can help you to get your graphics. You know, with social media, now you have to have some graphic representation, get a website, Facebook.
Social media.
Yep, you get your flyers, and you have to be on social media. Gone are the days when it's just radio and TV. Those are still key because, like on the radio, I was telling you earlier on that after we got off the show with you on Wednesday, we had about 10 more exhibitors who called up. So radio is powerful, and your show is powerful. So, and plus a lot of people in the street say, I heard about it, I'm going to be there. So it did create some buzz. So we're happy for that. But
do you ever ask a prospective entrepreneur, do you have the personality?
Yeah.
Because I find it takes a special personality to be a business person.
It does because
it's not all fun and games.
No, it's not. Entrepreneurship, is not for everyone.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurship is a good path to follow, and we encourage it. As you know, my wife and I, we started in this many years ago, and we had good jobs, right? She was the accountant and system manager at CUC. I was the deputy manager of the entire public service here at government,
Yeah.
So we had a good job, but we decided to take that entrepreneurship was calling.
And you want to take that risk.
And we're going to take that risk, and it wasn't easy, right? It was a big risk. It was challenging at times, but we stuck with it because the thing about entrepreneurship is that it allows you to see a need and to meet that need immediately. So, for example, we are in distribution. If we go on the marketplace and we heard somebody say, "Listen, I've been looking for so and so," right? Instead of going to your boss and letting him call a meeting and go to the committee, we can just go and find that product and take it to the market. So you can solve a need right away, and that is what entrepreneurship allows people. If you have a skill or you have a passion or you love to do something, if you love to bake cakes, and people always like when you bake cakes for them, and you see that there's a need for that, you can actually do something about it. You can go out and start a small business to bake cakes. And so entrepreneurship gives you that opportunity to impact your community almost immediately. It also, of course, allows you to plan your life because, for example, for us, we found that raising a family, we wanted to have a good work-life balance, right? And that's what entrepreneurship allows you. Not that you have to work harder sometimes. Not that you're gonna laze off, but you can schedule it. You can say, okay, I'm gonna take the day and vacation with my kids, but then I know that tonight I'm gonna have to work through the night, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like you.
And sometimes you can't call in sick.
Well, you can never call in sick, right? I tell my kids, I can't call in. The only time I'm calling sick is when blood is coming through my nose.
All right, so this weekend we have the ASI Cayman Business and Careers Expo. Tell us what's going to be happening there. Well, what day is it?
It's going to be June 28th, this Sunday. So, but on Sunday, I know a lot of people go to church on Sunday. So we are putting it at 2 p.m. So you're going to go to church and then you're going to get home and change in something comfortable. And then you come on down to the Lions Center. It's going to start at 2. I know some people are going to tell me that the football match is going to be on at 2. And I'm saying we rented a big screen television. So you can come on down and watch the match while you go through the booths. It's going to be...
So you'll have if they come, they'll have a bigger TV than what they probably have at home.
Yeah, I'm sure it's bigger. I'm sure it's bigger. So we got that courtesy of Clarity Entertainment. And so what we're going to have a number of businesses displaying what they sell, displaying what they do, and you're going to be able to walk through those booths. It's about 50 now, and so you're going to be able to walk through those booths and meet those business owners, find out that these services are here in Cayman and how you can access them. Also, almost all the business owners are going to be giving away discounts. So they're going to say to you probably, we have a car servicing company. They're going to say, okay, if you sign up to do your car maintenance for this month, you might get a 10%. We have a dog trainer. You might say, okay, if I'm training your dog, if you sign up for me at the expo, I'll give you X. And so everybody's going to be giving something to the public. And so it's an opportunity to, first of all, meet a number of small businesses that you might not know exist in Cayman, offering a number of services. And also, you're going to be able to get a lot of discounts and deals. You're going to have the farmers going to be there. Our backyard gardening expert who was here with us, he's going to be there, right?
He was quite impressive.
Oh yeah, he is, and a lot of people want to do that. You know, they have the backyard and they want to grow some tomatoes or some peppers, and so they don't know how.
Very good hobby, I would think.
Yeah, but more than a hobby, you can get get stuff for your kitchen.
Yeah,
and so he's going to be there helping to guide through that. So first, as I say, you're going to meet all these business persons. You're going to get these services and know where you can contact all these service providers. And then you're going to have a big family and community get-together. We're going to have the food. We're going to have the music. We're going to have a lot of interactions, a lot of the businesses showing what they do, giving away stuff and so on. But part of it is that we're going to also have what we call the Careers Expo. And this is where UCCI comes in, where they are going to be there with us and talking to the young people about various career paths and how they can access that, how they can tap into where, what courses are available, what are the requirements, what are the options. You know, Charlotte, a lot of young people think that the only options I have available to me is to go be a lawyer, doctor, or a banker.
Yeah.
You know, but the trades are a very good option. And what I'm finding out now is that a plumber and electrician, they have some tidy fees, you know.
Oh, they do well if they have that business mind.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, AC people.
Yes.
I mean, look at the temperature today. You know, people want that AC, right? And when it breaks down, you know, they're willing to pay for it, right?
Yes, because I tell you what, when your AC breakdown is not a good thing.
No.
Not a good thing.
Plumbing goes wrong, hey, call the plumber.
Yeah. And so these are good options, and we encourage young people to consider them. And at UCCI, there is an entire department that deals with that, with technical training and development. And they're going to come and they're going to walk through all the options that they have available there. And so young people are going to get to talk to some of the professors, find out what the options are, understand there are even options for scholarships for some of the trades. And so that's going to be a key part of the expo. And so we want all the young people, those who are maybe leaving high school, those who are have left high school, and you're thinking, what's the next step for me? Then this is going to be the place for you to come and meet some folks. And even meeting the business people, you might be somebody who is adept to entrepreneurship, because entrepreneurship is a beautiful path to go. And you might think, okay, it's too difficult. I need a lot of money. I need a lot of this, But come and talk to people who have done it without all those resources, but have been successful.
Let me just step back a minute. You were talking about the prizes.
Yeah.
But you have to register to get prizes, right?
Yes. Well, registration is, you can actually go on our website, which is asibusinessexpo.com, and you can register for prizes right now. But the primary way is that when you're coming through the door on Sunday, there's going to be a registration booth. So you just go there and you register. You fill a little form, you drop it in the box, and so that you can, because all through the day, the DJ is going to be calling out prizes. So if you're registered, then chances are he'll call your name every 10 or 15 minutes, and you will win a prize. We have prizes. We have some gift certificates courtesy of Foster Supermarket, and all the exhibitors have gift certificates from their particular businesses. So lots of prizes are going to be given out. So come on down, and you might win something that's just wonderful.
All right, we're going to take a break, but when we come back, we'll focus more on the career possibilities that you might find at this expo. We'll be right back.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
She hear clunk and her car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN money transfer card. It cost me less. And props, she use a card, pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money Transfer Card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
Let's hear it for your Wildcat cheerleaders.
Aunt Angie, weren't you a cheerleader?
The best in the Western Hemisphere. Until I attempted that switch kick, double twist roundhouse.
Huh?
Exactly. I must have been in the air for 20 seconds before I fell into that snare drum. I set a world record, though, and thankfully I could trust the CG Medical Portal with my claims. All 37 of them.
The CG Medical Portal. Safe and secure. CG Brit-K. Good like that.
For 50 years, Radio Cayman has been the heartbeat of our islands, informing, connecting, and giving Cayman a voice. From breaking news to community stories, the journey continues. Radio Cayman, 50 years of excellence and still going strong.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. I've been talking to Rohan Riley about the upcoming ASI Cayman Business and Careers Expo 2026 that's happening on Sunday at the Lions Center. And we are joined now by Paul Puckering, Dean of Professional and Technical Education and Training at UCCI. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you, sir, for having me, and apologies for my late arrival.
But tell us what you will be doing at this expo.
Well, again, thank you, and thanks to ASI for collaborating with the university on this very important occasion. We are going to use it as an opportunity to sensitize the public to the many programs that we have on offer because, as you know, the new academic school year is coming to an end. Mm-hmm. And the next one will start in September. And so Sunday is a great opportunity for them to come out and to either sign up or express their interest. And so we have from certificate programs or short programs right up to master's programs that persons can express their interest in. I just came from the awards ceremony for the School of Hospitality, which is sponsored by the Department of Tourism and the Ministry of Tourism. And so the Department of Tourism offers a full scholarship to all young Caymanians between the ages of 16 and 25 who want to study tourism at the UCCI. And
what is offered? What areas can people study?
And so they can study food and beverage service, they can study culinary arts, they can study beauty therapy, water sports, or reception services. So those are the various pathways in the area of hospitality that they can pursue. From the technical trades, we offer things like plumbing from levels 1 to 3, air conditioning and refrigeration levels 1 to 3, construction technology. We offer electrical installation from levels 1 to 3, as well as solar photovoltaic. And then their short course.
What was that one?
Solar like installation.
Okay.
Yes. We have a course to train persons to be solar.
That's the future, right?
Yes. And all of our technical trade programs are linked to international benchmark certification. So they're not just only going to get a UCCI certificate at the end, they're going to get an internationally recognized certificate as well, whether it be City and Guilds or the National Center for Construction, Education and Research.
Well, tell me a little bit about, let's say, the hospitality industry. Yes. We've always heard that it's been hard to attract Caymanians into the hospitality industry. Yes. Now, when you say food and beverage service, that's much more than just being a waiter.
Yes.
Explain that.
Yes. So that teaches them about, well, obviously the customer service, but they get to know about wines. They get to know how to mix drinks, to become a bartender, because they become a mixologist, and they get to get the skills related to that field. We do certifications related to it. So they're not only going to get the skills, but they get a certificate as a mixologist or a bartender, or they get to know the different wines so that if they're serving those to a specific guest, they can know. And different hotels have different expectations. So having those kinds of skills, if you're going to work for Ritz-Carlton, you definitely need to know your wines if you're going to continue into that field. You know, you're just not only going to serve on the table or remove plates, but the guests want to know that you know what product they're getting.
You can
be
able to recommend something.
And be able to recommend something. Similarly, for the food and beverage, for the culinary persons, being able to understand, Cayman is the culinary capital of the Caribbean, and being able to be a Caymanian and present local cuisines, gives them that opportunity. And so we offer from certificate as well as associate's degree programs in the hospitality sector.
Anything in management, in hospitality?
Yes, we have a hotel management associate's degree, an associate's degree in food and beverage management, and an associate's degree in culinary management.
So what about the trades now?
Yes.
What's it like to study at UCCI for the trades?
So for the trades, we have full-time, because we recognize that many of the industries are saying to us, our work staff is aging and we need young Caymanians to join the workforce. And so to bridge that gap, we have electrical installation, a full-time program for those coming out of school so that they can study that. And we also have it in the evening as well, so that when they're finished, they can continue into the trade.
You're pretty big on evening classes.
Yes.
I've gone out there at nighttime and car park is full.
Yes. And so we have lots of employers, because we are aligned with certification, sending their employees back to us to get their recertification or upskill them in either electrical, because we currently offer electrical installation, air conditioning, refrigeration, plumbing, construction technology, and as I said, the solar training. We also offer project management for those young contractors who are builders who want to understand, am I giving you the correct quote? Did I do the correct cost analysis? Sometimes you get a quote from a contractor. He says, well, it will cost me $20,000 to build this room for you. And then he comes back and tells you that you need an extra $10,000 because he did not take into account, That course helps them to understand how to do those cost-benefit analysis.
So, when most people hear construction, they're thinking about the labor in it, but this is the planning the management.
The management, yes.
So what will people be able to do when they come to the expo now and come to your booth?
Right. So we'll be giving them guidance on career guidance as to what program they want to know. So just as how you've asked, they may have questions as to what is involved in that specific program, so as to give them a better informed decision as to which program they may pursue or do. A person may ask, can I start level 2 electrical, and if I've been working in the industry for a number of years and not level 1? So those kinds of questions that we'll be open to answering and giving guidance that, yes, once you can prove to us that you have the years of experience and we'll do an assessment, you can start at level 2. So you don't necessarily have to start at level 1, but based on your years of experience and the kind of work that you've done before can help us to understand where you're at in your career journey.
So when someone graduates with this from these vocational and technical programs, they're ready to go to work? I guess some of them you still need to take license tests and so forth, right?
Yes. So as it stands in the Cayman Islands, only the electrical requires them to have wireman's certification, and we offer that training as well for those who have been in the industry and want to take the licensing certification. We offer that as a short course as well. So and many of the employers we have, like Corporate Electric, who will send sometimes some of their upcoming electricians to take that course so that they can take the licensing part of it. For plumbing and HVAC at present, there's not a requirement for them, but I believe that as we professionalize the industry, that we will move towards those kinds of things to ensure that all persons who are functioning out there in the industry have some kind of certification, and not just that they say to you, I can install a HVAC unit, or I can install a plumbing faucet, and then you have to call someone to rectify it because it was not done correctly in the first place.
Yeah. So, people will be able to sit down and talk about the possibilities with you there.
Yes. And we will also take their information so that we can get back to them, and we can send them emails to begin the application process. So we'll send them the link via their email. You can begin to apply to the university using this link, and providing the details like the documentation that's required for them to complete their application.
Well, Rohan, sounds like this expo is far-reaching, really.
Yes, it is. There's the young people, those even persons who are in a certain career now, they might be thinking with AI, with what are the options? What can I do? Do I need to sit here, or are there options for me to look out to? And when you come there, you're going to be able to, even the business owners are going to be talking about how they got into their business, how you can look at it. And so it's something for everyone. For even the kids who are going to come, we have something for them. We have Mr. Cool Snow Cone for the kids. We're going to have, for the health enthusiasts, we're going to have the desk cycle is going to be on a special offer. So you come on down, you get your desk cycle. Maybe I should get one for you. You can be pedaling. You can be pedaling while you're working. So that's going to be there also. And so we just want everyone to come. Some of the businesses that are there, we're going to have, as I said, we're going to have the people who do cars. We're going to have people who are into retailing. We're going to have people who are into services like immigration services, accounting services. We have people who are into AC. We have the doctors who were here yesterday from Savannah Medical. Yeah. Plus we have Akai Diagnostics. They're there. Maybe you'll be able to go and arrange to get a scan. Maybe some people are putting off getting a scan. They can come down, maybe get a discount on that. We have the marketing guy who was here with us. Right. He can help you get into, and he has some great things about how to use AI to answer your phone and to do all that. We have some folks who do security cameras. You can be out and tell your camera, and look at your home and lock your door and turn on the lights. So all those guys are going to be there with some great deals for us. We have the tire man, everything tire. He's going to be there. We have Flashpoint Media is going to be the DJ for the day, and then we have a very interesting. You mentioned solar. We have a company called Solar Energy System. He's going to be there showing with the solar panels and showing us how it works, and also offering deals to the community. So they're just a great bunch of people. And also when it comes to counseling and to sharing, we also have the Institution of Essential Care, which is a mental health counseling center. And so they're going to be there talking about their services. Mental health is a challenge that we face. And so we reach out to them to bring them on. So they're one of the ones who came on late. But they are going to be there, and they are going to be talking about the persons about mental health and how some of the things we can do, some of the services they offer. We have a daycare, and so if you want to get your child into the daycare, there's somebody there. There's somebody for everyone at the expo, and so we just want everybody to come on out and have a good time with us.
Will people, you think, be able to talk to these businesses about what the jobs are like in their particular area?
Of course. I know there, for example, I know right now in our business, we're looking for a marketing rep. So people are going to come there, and we're going to be able to probably meet someone. Somebody can come and say, I studied marketing, I have experience in marketing. I mean, we're looking, and a lot of the businesses are looking for persons. So somebody might come, and you just come on down and say, I'm going to come down to look a job. I'm a young Cayman and I want a job. So I'm going to come down and see if any of these business persons, and I'm sure there will be some, because as I said, our business is actively looking for marketing reps. So that's an option. And so, yes, there will be jobs. There will be.
So let's make sure that everybody knows when and where.
Okay, so it's going to be on this Sunday, June 28th, and it's going to be at 2 p.m. at the Lions Center, and we're inviting everyone to come on down. June 28th, 2 p.m., Lions Center, Grand Cayman.
Rohan Riley and Paul Puckering, thank you so much for coming into the studio, telling us about this event happening at the Lions Center.
Thank you.
Thank you very
much. Have a good afternoon. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, sir.
Right now, it's time for us to go to the newsroom. So let's see what's making headlines.
If they are talking about us,
living in your head rent-free all this time,
we must be relevant. Radio Cayman since 1976. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
With your latest headlines, I'm Elizabeth Charles. The Ministry of Education and Training is issuing an important scholarship reminder for students applying this year. In a post today, Education Cayman warns that scholarship applications submitted without final exam results and an unconditional acceptance letter from the institution of choice may experience delays in processing. The ministry says applicants must ensure all required documents are fully completed before submitting their forms. According to the reminder, incomplete applications, including those with blank documents, may not be eligible for consideration. Students are being urged to double-check scholarship packages and confirm that exam results, acceptance letters, and all other documents are properly filled out before turning them in. In international news, the International Monetary Fund's chief economist says the global economy remains firmly anchored to the U.S. dollar, despite shifting trade flows and rising gold prices. In other news, Volkswagen is considering closing 4 German plants and axing as many as 100,000 jobs in what sources say could be the biggest restructuring in auto industry history. The move will be discussed by the supervisory board on July 9th as VW faces weak sales and mounting pressure from Chinese rivals. Those are the latest headlines. I'm Elizabeth Charles.
Radio Cayman. More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Your Cayman Islands Health Services Authority has been the national healthcare provider of the Cayman Islands for many generations. We have elevated our level of care to ensure you, our patients, have the best possible experience. We offer better access to care close to home with the most locations on all 3 islands, delivering a full range of primary, secondary, tertiary, and emergency care. HSA is a JCI accredited organization, and we are committed to caring for you.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Holroy Eric Lorenzo Walton, born on August 13, 1936 in Bogasan, Cayman Brac, was not only an avid artist and seaman, affectionately named Roy, he also made significant impacts in the construction industry, founding H&A Construction in 1972 and working on landmark projects. He was also a passionate educator, hosting free art classes for children and fostering creativity through an annual art competition at Spot Bay Primary School. Roy and his wife Anne were dedicated to preserving the heritage of the Sister Islands, designing the lighthouse statue at the Cayman Brac and Little Cayman's Seamen's Center. Roy's efforts in collecting and displaying seafaring history ensured that the stories of Caymanian seafarers would be passed down to future generations. His life's work continues to resonate with the community and beyond.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and here's a weather update for you. The afternoon forecast is calling for haze. Yep, that's the actual forecast here. Haze. That Sahara dust has got us under a dust alert. So if you have respiratory issues. Don't go outside and try and do a lot of work. You might run into trouble there and might want to be wearing a mask also. The current temperature here in Georgetown is 92 degrees. Feels like 105. Winds out of the east-southeast at 8.8 knots with a relative humidity of 60%. Let's take a look at the forecast. Tonight we can expect hazy skies with less than 20% chance of showers. Temperatures will be in the low 80s. Winds out of the east to northeast at 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be moderate, with seas running at 3 to 5 feet. And the dust alert will be in effect tonight also. Sunset is at 7:06. The outlook, Saharan dust will persist across the Cayman area through late Saturday night, with concentrations gradually reducing by a Sunday morning. On Saturday, marine conditions are likely to become occasionally rough as wave heights increase during the day. As a result, a small craft advisory is likely to be in effect on Saturdays. Hope that doesn't interrupt your boating plans for the weekend. Well, you're listening to Talk Today, coming to you live from the studios of the Loxley Banks Broadcasting Center here in beautiful downtown Georgetown. This morning, the Radio Cayman home was rededicated and renamed the Loxley Banks Broadcasting Center, honoring the man who advocated for 12 years for a radio station in Cayman. He was there from the very beginning, making sure the nuts and bolts and all the wires were all connected to put Radio Cayman on the air. It's my pleasure to have in the studio the man who gave me my first job in broadcasting, Loxley Banks, MBE. Loxley, congratulations. Well deserved. Tell me how...
Thank you, Charlo. But I would just like to say this right up front, the honor or accolades, everybody chipped in to help. I could never have done it on alone. There was a lot of help all along the way. So I just want, and I think each, as I said this morning, each one of your names is somewhere etched in the back of mine or in front of me, however you want to put it.
Well, the humility that you are displaying now was a thread that ran through the speakers that were there this morning. The Premier, the Honorable Ralston Anglin, all talked about your humility, in getting these accolades. And but as you saw that name unveiled and the people that were there, you had a good turnout. West Bay well represented.
Tell you what.
What was the feeling?
I didn't see it until about an hour and a half after that. And I finally said, well, let me get out here and look at this.
But tell us, what were your thoughts and feelings during that whole ceremony this morning?
Well, I think, I was appreciative of all the folks who showed up, to help celebrate the occasion in the morning, and thankful that we had a beautiful Cayman kind of Friday morning.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't too hot, even though, it started to get hot, and once in a while you felt a little puff of cool breeze coming through there, and I think I said a little prayer. Thank you, Lord.
Mm-hmm. But, the minister, the Honorable Ralston Anglin, he, in his speech, he said that when you got the MBE, he was embarrassed because it had taken so long to recognize the work that you'd done. How did this get by us, right? And then this honor of having this building named after you. And then you followed up by talking about, we don't sing our own song about our own people enough.
Well, that is a stringing together of adverbs and verbs that I have repeated many times from this studio. We haven't been singing our song. Other folks come here and you may hear their song above ours, but that shouldn't be the way it is. We should be singing our song. We have a lot to sing about. And if we don't sing about it, then it's going to get buried. And I don't think any of us, that is the Caymanians, would want that to happen, because there was too much hard work went in to establish the foundation for what everything that has been done within this Cayman Islands society, community, up until now, had to have. If they didn't have that kind of foundation, it could never happen.
Yeah.
And our forefathers and mothers, brothers and sisters and whatever, they went through a lot to have that foundation set here. The seafarers,
Well, let's go back to the beginning. How was it that you were prepared to undertake the establishment of a radio station? How did you get into radio?
Well, I think I made mention this morning to my involvement with the Cracker Jim operation show, which was, as I said, 98% of the radios on the island in that era, and it spanned from about 52 up through the mid-60s. On WMI in Miami, they had a studio, WMI, in the Everglades Hotel, which you're probably familiar with.
Right, Biscayne Boulevard downtown.
Yeah, yes, right down Biscayne Boulevard. But he had a remote studio in Shell Superstore, which I think you probably are familiar with. And he broadcast from there every night. And I got a job. I was still in high school there in Miami. I got a job making 30 cents an hour, bagging groceries there. Of course, my interest in radio, pointed me right to where his studio was at. And
you couldn't wait to get in there.
I couldn't wait to get in there. And I would have to say, he embraced me, because he had been getting a lot of mail from Cayman. And, I think WMI was 1140. That's on the dial. And that was a frequency that sort of had a good path all over the world. And the seafarers, they could have been in Portugal, or they could have been, and they were all aware of everybody listening to this show in Cayman, and they would listen in, and whenever they could, of course. And on those ships, they had some very selective radios that could pull out whatever,
fine tune.
Whatever was on the spectrum. And people in Cayman, wives, all family members, would send requests into him, dedicate a song, "Don't Let the Stars Get in Your Eyes," or something like this, to John, who's on the end. Sometimes they'd mention the ship. And he was kind of fascinated by that aspect. In fact, he said to me one time, I wish I had saved all of the letters that came in to me.
Wow.
Yeah. And of course, also during that era, the seafarers knew about this connection. And if you can think back, we didn't have telephones here until 1966, I think, was when cable and wireless came in here. So that was all. The telephones was all after this really exciting, I'd call it, era that Cayman had went through.
And even then, it wasn't the greatest connection.
No. Well, I think the first 2 or 3 years, I say 2 or 3 years, it might have been less than that or could have been more. To get a telephone call out of here, it had to be by radio. There was no direct connectivity between here and the undersea cable that at that time was in Jamaica. I think it was all what they call troposcatter process. You'd get the radio signal from Cayman, and Cable and Wireless had a big antenna up there on John Jackson Bagadere, which is what they call Liar's Tree now. It's called Garvin's Park also. Sending the signal from here to the BRAC, and then I think there was another one that transmitted it from the BRAC to Jamaica. Sometimes you try to make a telephone call, and there was to the States, and you couldn't get through. It might be hours before you got through.
So Crackerjack Jim was like a link.
Yes, yeah. He was a radio link from Miami to Cayman, because these seafarers especially coming through, and sometimes they'd get off a ship in New York and take the Orange Blossom Special down to Miami, trying to catch them, because there was only one flight a week, trying to catch that flight. Sometimes they couldn't. Mm-hmm. They would all come up there, especially after they found out that I was around in Shells. And I knew a lot of them. They would try to make sure they would come up there, and I'll tell you a story about your brother-in-law, Bill Banks.
Mm-hmm.
He told me he came to Miami coming home. I just got off ship the day before, and I think he knew I was up there. He and I was very, very good friends. We grew up together. He said he wanted to come up or he didn't come up to Shells. Some of the other seafarers came up there. He had to buy a pair of shoes. So he went down a Flagler Street to buy this pair of shoes. And he got back to the hotel just about the time 3 or 4 of the guys was coming back from Shell Superstore. And they said, Loxley was up there. We saw Loxley. And he said, "Oh, I gotta go." And he jumped back in the cab and came up to Shells. But by the time he told me the story, the time he got there, I was gone. And he lost his pair of shoes in the cab.
He left them.
Yes.
So Crackerjack Jim let you into his studio.
Oh yes.
Okay. But then you went on to get a lot of technical training in the service, the military?
Well, in the military, I started to really dig deep into the system. And after I got out of the service, that is the U.S. Air Force, after 4 years, I went to Radio Electronics and Television School. And I graduated from there, and then I also took a bunch of other courses at, I think, a facility that I believe you attended, the community college at
Miami-Dade?
Yeah.
And so that's where you got your technical foundation there with that training.
Yeah.
Because that was one of the first things when I joined Radio Cayman. I mean, you were management. You knew all about programming and everything, but I learned very quick that you were also very technically astute. I mean, you were the man to do this.
Well, I tell you a little story relating to that. When the staff complement was set up, we had a studio engineer post within the setup. and the way they had the salaries stacked, it was the director, the studio engineer, and then the program controller. But the folks over in the glass house, Mr. McCoy and Mr. Johnson, knew what I was leaving up in Florida, and they tried to make sure that I didn't really take too much of a hit coming back home. So the staff complement was kind of rearranged when they realized that he can probably take care of some of the technical stuff too. So instead of having a studio engineer back in that when it started, we worked out a scheme to where part of the heavy maintenance stuff was contracted out because they figured that I could handle what was within the studio. Therefore, I think they came up with a little extra to up the
sweeten it a little bit.
Yeah, the program controller's salary, and it was funny because the consulting engineer, and I think they said, and I kind of knew what was happening because I was back home in that era every 10 to 12 weeks, and he was asking me all these questions. Once I met him here twice or so, I met him, and this was just at the initial setting at the station. And I was talking with him, and he was questioning me like hell. I said, "Oh, boy," but and I think they told the consultant, check this guy out to see if he's on level or whatever, and I guess they must have figured I was on level.
But this morning I also learned, everybody learned, that you had advocated for 12 years to have a station in Cayman.
1964.
You started?
I put in, and I got I don't have the original application or letter that I sent in because I think they told me it got consumed in the fire that was when
the old government house.
Yeah. But I have subsequent ones that I kept inquiring about it, and 1964.
So were you seeking to have a private station, or were you saying let's get a government national?
No. Well, from my standpoint at the time, it was a private enterprise, and of course there were all kind of technical problems that we would have run into, but I thought I had it kind of figured out. One of the main considerations was, and I knew this from talking with Captain Eldon and some of the other ones up the line, we have to cover the BRAC. We had to make sure we cover the BRAC. Well,
yeah,
I had designed or came up with a plan to where I was going to use a balloon with a special antenna that I had thought that would work, and hoist it up to where it would transmit the signal to Cayman BRAC. But in the consultant that came in, and this was after I had applied, but I didn't go into all the technical stuff that at the beginning. And they decided that the best way to cover the BRAC was to put a 10,000 watt AM transmitter on the bluff in East End. And even though they did that, and this was the consultant's view to put the frequencies, the AM frequencies, and what you call a split frequency. The general rule is you go 1550, 1560, and down or 710, 720, so forth. Mm-hmm. But they established the two AM frequencies that we had in Cayman, I think was 1205 instead of 12 or 1210, and 1555 instead of 1550 or 1560. And the theory was that you could squeeze the signal in. Well, in theory it was, and that came about. They thought, because at that time Castro was putting up all little satellite radios in Cuba, and really the reception, trying to get anything over them, because it was just right around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they thought that they could squeeze the Radio Cayman signal in between, and I would have to say it worked, but the reception in the BRAC was not all that good, and this went on for the first 5 years of the station being involved, and when they made me director, I immediately went to another system. We're talking about the troposcatter thing. We designed a process here to where we could use that instead of because one thing was the cost of operating a 10,000 watt transmitter in East End, 300-foot tower, guy wires. Originally, they were steel guy wires. A lot of guy wires going up to 300 feet.
Anchor that.
Yeah, and one of the things that it kind of blew me mind when I heard, but that was what the consultant, they were going to soak the guy wires in linseed oil to think that it would combat the salt spray. And when I was told, I said, it'll work for 5 days, and the salt spray will eat that linseed oil away. And we had to replace the guy wires, I don't know, maybe 2 times within a 5-year, and that was expensive work. But about that time, there was a new rope that came on the line. I call it a rope, called Philistran, which was not steel, it was fiber. And we switched over to the fiber guy wires, and eventually we just decommissioned the station up there because it burned up. I think there was 2 transformers, big transformers. They were costing $5,000 at the point, and
that's the electricity was burning.
No, the transformers.
Oh, the cost
that they had to replace, and the manufacturer did not want to stand behind it. Mm-hmm. So it was all, it was a cost thing also. But even when we established the facility in East End, there was no what you call 3-phase electrical grid going out there.
Yeah.
There was 2-phase, a ground, but anyway, a ground and a new, I think it was ground, and a live one. And we had the full electrical system coming out there because this.
You got to improvise?
Yes, this 10,000 watt transmitter needed
the 3-phase.
Yeah. So and when I think about it, that was probably contributed to the burning up of these transformers. Oddly enough, and I didn't see him in the audience this morning. I'm not sure whether he was there. Mr. Arden McLean, Honorable Arden McLean.
Oh, yeah. I remember when we did the 50th anniversary thing, he called and talked about that.
Yes. Yeah. And he I think, at Public Works at the time, and he was involved with that installation along with the consultant and engineers that came in from abroad.
We're going to take a little break here, and we'll be right back. I'm talking with Loxley Banks, MBE.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Explore your history. Explore your land. Explore your sister islands. The ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom. The land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your sister islands.
Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
The 6:15 Weather Report, Monday through Friday, is proudly sponsored by CG Britcay. Insurance, health, pensions, life, where people come first. It's here. Multi-year trade and business licenses are now available. You heard right. You can apply for TBLs up to 5 years. Save time, reduce paperwork, and focus on growing your business. Apply online at dci.gov.ky. Apply for your multi-year trade and business licenses today.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and I'm talking with Loxley Banks, who was honored this morning by having Radio Cayman's building rededicated and renamed the Loxley Banks Broadcasting Center. And if you'd like to speak to Loxley, you're welcome to call 1-800-534-8255. That is courtesy of Flo. You can also reach us at 949-8037, 949-6990, and also on WhatsApp, 925-3261.
Before we go on, I just want to get this in. You know, George Hunter of Island Electronics, and also Carl Godet, which was the Aero Systems sort of engineers or technicians. You know, they were very involved also in some of the technical stuff that we had to overcome, and also cable and wireless, because on the first broadcast that we did of the election results, we had to build, because originally the station complement this, whatever they supplied us with, did not have a telephone interface system. So when we decided, and this was right after, I hadn't taken over at that point. No, that was 7-6. No, it's just when we got started. Right in that studio next door, we designed a little circuit to work as an interface between the telephone and, of course, all the equipment here. And Reggie Nixon was one of the engineers there, and I never forget. I told him what my thoughts were and how we could accomplish it. And if you tell me what your impedance requirements are, and we can match it up, and we did. With
a lot of improvisation to make things work.
Yes, yeah. Toggle switch, what we call a toggle switch. I think it was the first one was what they call a single pole toggle switch, and we migrated into a double pole toggle switch where we could switch from one telephone call coming in to the other one.
Well, we have a call on the line right now. Let's take that. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Good afternoon, sir, and good afternoon to Mr. Loxley Banks. Congratulations a million times on your honors this morning, and you know me from way back. You and I talked on the Radio Cayman phones. How many times when I would call in, I was the reporter for Radio Cayman, giving the weather report after Mr. Rich had passed away. I took it up after him. So I'm delighted and elated to hear about you being honored and having the building named after you, Mr. Banks. Congratulations, and may you have a happy and long, successful, healthy life.
Thank you.
Thank you, Raymond. And now, one of the things that always intrigues me, and you touched on it this morning when you spoke, is that not everybody was like welcoming a radio station that came in, particularly politicians,
Well, yeah, it was politics, and there was great rivalry amongst the political landscape at that time, and I suppose some of those on the opposition thought that maybe they could make a point here. Oh, it was all.
But what they thought it was something that would interfere with the order of things, or
no, I'm not sure that they had a what you could call a direct thought about it. It was just, I think, here we might be able to make a point. Who was it said never pass up something to anyway. It was politics, pure politics.
Well, let's take another call. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Charlie and Mr. Bank.
Yes, good afternoon.
Hello.
It was such a pleasure being at your ceremony this morning and seeing your life's work being so recognized appropriately.
Yeah, well, I recognize the voice, and or maybe you can tell a story.
I gotta leave that to you for the audience.
Anyway, let me just see if I can put it in simple terms. And I think other people have recognized, but his father and I were very good friends growing up, and on one of my frequent trips out here, his father was a seafarer. We came on the same flight. And he said to me, Lockie, I know what you're doing, where you're at. When you get home, talk to my son. And it was him and another young man. I guess you all must have been, 7 years old, 8 years old, 9 years old, 10 at the most?
No, I think we were probably 13, 14. You can call our name, sir.
Yeah, it's Cornwin, and the other one was Joey Jackson, and you know what they did accomplish also within the Cayman community, and they had figured out a way, or got a hold of some electrical wire, and they had run a wire between the two houses. The two houses, I guess, was 250 feet apart, maybe 300.
It was. I would think under 200 feet.
Yeah, and both their fathers were concerned that they were going to electrocute themselves. So I think I went and talked with both of them and kind of gave them a say. And back in those days, they could order electrical parts from. And Kern, do you remember the name of that kind of catalog house? It was located in Chicago. I can't remember, but all electronic parts. Allied Electronics. Yeah. And
another name, yeah.
Yeah, and they, I think, Bill, your
my brother-in-law.
Yeah. He was in that, but he was a bit older than these guys, and he maybe understood a little bit more. That's one anyway. But I got them squared away, and they were communicating back and forth. I think they picked up. I'm not sure how they got the sort of speaker thing that used to be on the telephone, because that had a listener and also a little mic in it, and they had something rigged up. But as you know, Kern went on to be an engineer with cable and wireless and executive and all this stuff, and I think he's really heavily now into ham radio, right? He's still in that.
Yeah, my semi-retirement, I'm finding more time for getting involved and passing on. Hopefully some knowledge to the youngsters coming along. But to clarify, we had the telephone company used to have a dump up at John Jackson's back there. And Joey and I, we got a roll of, well, they call it Cat 6 or Cat 5 cable these days. We thought it was kind of good, but somehow, and also we got about 4 or 5 linesman telephones discarded, and we managed to piece 2 of those together enough to make 2 working unit. And I think by then, well, Joy being the son of a marine engineer, he had access to car power supply, and car radio. And I think I had a vote meter I had bought from Radio Shack or Funky Tanks in the village. And so we were able to, the rudimentary knowledge we had, to piece together somewhat of an intercom. I didn't have a radio in my room at that time, so Joy, we used a spare here on the table, and Joy used to pipe radio the audio from his car radio, which he had mounted in his house, and I used one of the old spare receivers, telephone handset receivers, to listen to radio, separate it from the intercom. So, I think that technically, I think that was what we had done.
Yeah, and going back some years before that, it was probably 10 years before that, I tried, my friend Davis Morton, who you probably knew, there. We lived right across the street, down in West Bay. Our house was right on the beach, and he lived across the street. And we were always, fishing, looking for, seeing if we could find out who was going to throw the next stick of dynamite in the goggle eyes. And so we said we needed somebody because we couldn't watch on the beach all the time. And I don't think that we really heard anything. But we did the same thing, but we used cotton line, and I don't think there was any conductivity with 2 tin cans.
Okay. Curran, thank you for the call.
Sure.
Have a good afternoon. Okay, we have someone else on the line there. So, good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Hey, Charlo. Good afternoon to you, and also good afternoon to your guest, Mr. Banks. This is Dominique E. Banks. Hope you all are doing well today.
Yes.
Yes, I know. And Mr. Banks, just really call. I won't take up much time. I know we get ready to go into a break, but I just wanted to, personally congratulate you myself and pretty much on a behalf, I think, and my whole entire family, from the ones who have gone and those who are still with us, how much we appreciate, the hard work you put in and making it possible for Radio Cayman as it is today. Because, when it came out in 1974, that's probably when I was born, so I guess as the station we're coming out too. And over the years of growing up, not just listening to yourself and other broadcasters who have gone on, and people like Mr. Charlo who are still here with us and back on the air again, which is so much appreciated. And I told him that when he started back, I should say almost a year ago now, Charlo.
Yeah.
It's going so fast. And it's so refreshing to have both of you back on the air, especially today, and sounding so healthy and lively. And it makes us look forward to another, like I said, another 50, 60, 100 years of Radio Cayman and continue growing. And I just wanted to, like I said, just give you my personal congratulations for your hard work and contribution in allowing the country to have such a national radio station today that has, been more than just honored to listen to the radio, so like a necessity. Back in the day, people don't realize that it was when the radio came on, and being able to just tune into that and listen to all the music that, not like today where you could just download it so quickly. You had to go. Music was something that's very hard to access in those days. So, you have definitely laid and paved the way for many young people, and I can say that in my career of being a DJ and playing music and stuff, I think Radio Cayman has, contributed a big part of that, and both you gentlemen sitting in there have contributed to that. So like I said, I just wanted to say congratulations to you especially and the station for being named after you. And look forward to, seeing you again soon in person and congratulating you that way. But just wanted to call in and, give my congratulations to you and the whole Radio Cayman team there as well.
Thank you much. Thank you much.
Yes, thanks for the call. You take care.
Have a safe weekend. You too. Bye-bye.
It's time for us to take a little break, but we'll be back.
Cineco's parametric insurance after hurricanes is now available for motor policies. Fixed automatic payouts cover incidental vehicle expenses like fuel, cleanup, and minor repairs. No claims, no damage required. $200 for comprehensive policies or $100 for third-party policies. Available exclusively through Cineco and included with all new motor insurance policies and upon renewal for current policies. Visit Cineco.ky today. Cineco. Keeping Cayman covered.
The best foundation you can wear is glowing, healthy skin. The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter specialize in enhancing your skin's well-being. Whether you're seeking advanced skincare, including any skin cancers, Botox, filler, cosmetic skin enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles, Dr. Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email drportercayman@gmail.com or call 946-9020. That is 946-9020.
Did you know there are over 100 Adventist-owned businesses right here in the Cayman Islands? Adventist entrepreneurs are making a powerful impact across Cayman. Join us on Sunday, June 28th at 2 p.m. at the Lion Center, Grand Cayman for the ASI Cayman Business and Career Expo. Explore products and services, enjoy exclusive discounts, free samples, giveaways, and exciting prizes. Need a wellness check? Enjoy free health screenings and relaxing massage therapy. Thinking about your future career? Young people, students, and job seekers, whether you're looking to grow your business, plan your future, network with professionals, or simply enjoy a great community event, this is the place to be. Admission is absolutely free. The ASI Cayman Business and Career Expo. Showcase, connect, succeed. Sunday, June 28th, 2 p.m. at the Lion Center. For more information, visit asikayman.interamerica.org.
Hi, this is Gary King from Totally 80s. My special guest this week is Carly Simon. Carly talks about her unfulfilled ambitions. I'll also bring you the latest news on the biggest stars of the decade.
This is Totally 80s.
Heard on Saturdays from 2 until 4 p.m. on Breeze 105.3 and 91.9. And brought to you with the kind compliments of KFC.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and in the studio with me is Loxley Banks. And 50 years ago, this station went on the air. And, 50 years in the big picture of things is not a long time, but 50 years ago, communication to the population was a very rudimentary thing. I mean, how did we get word out to to people to say what's going on?
Well, it was mainly sort of word of mouth. There was a telephone system back in that era. You had to crank it up, and it would. I think there was a telephone system in each district, or a telephone in each district. And the way you knew whether they were trying to get in contact with you, it was one ring, West Bay. I'm just
a certain number of rings.
Yeah.
Which district they were trying to reach?
Yes. But it was one wire running through from Georgetown. I guess it was probably the old wireless station that right on this these premises here, because that was the sort of center of electric, and that's what it was, electric communication. Everything came into the wireless station, in Morse code. And that had to be decoded and then...
so that was Mr. Arthur Barton that was decoding that?
Yeah.
With the wireless station, as you pointed out this morning, is right over here in the parking lot.
Yeah.
But tell us about how the cadastral survey conflict, where people were resisting that, acted as an impetus of having a means of mass communication.
Well, I think with the, and we call it near riot that happened, the UK people, I guess, was Foreign Commonwealth Office, usually I believe it was at that time, was concerned because, having a sort of uprising amongst the...
So people were in the street?
Yeah, down in Georgetown here, yeah. It was. I wasn't at home actually at the time, but I think it was in Georgetown. And that was... And the governor at the time, which was Mr. Long, Arthur Long, called in a warship with battle-ready Marines on board. Anchored it right in Georgetown.
Mm.
And they tried to, or the vestry at the time, I think, met. But the governor, I think, had instructed, it might have been administrator at the time, to cover the windows of the town hall.
So that's where the vestry was
It was being held, with plywood. And the North Side representative at the time, Mr. Craddock Haybanks, once the meeting was concerned, got up, and I believe that might have been in the era that they had started to record the meeting.
For Hansard's?
Yeah, I haven't been able to locate it yet, but I'm going to keep trying. Got up and said, at that time the governor sat in this what's the speaker's chair. And I think he was called President of...
they were referring to Mr. President.
Yeah. Say, Mr. President, there's not going to be any meeting here this morning. And I think they say he repeated it 2 or 3 times. There is not going to be any meeting in this hall this morning. There is not going to be any meeting in this hall this morning as long as those windows are boarded up, because this is not Cayman. And apparently the meeting was adjourned, and Public Works was called in to take the blinds down, take the plywood off the windows.
So the people were upset, and they called it a near riot. And so Mr. Harry McCoy came into this picture now.
Yeah, he was.
Because London was wanting to know what was going on.
Yeah, he was in London on some other business. But when London got word that, because I guess there was, I know there was communication going on between here in London, they were concerned also. And they naturally would know that he was there. And they called him in, and they had a long conversation, and he basically told them, I think that the problem is communications. Now, the people at Cadastral Survey probably was not really communicating, we'll have to say, in a way that the populace was hearing what the real picture was.
So people thought the government was about taking their land away?
I think it
redrawing
was.
lines?
The way we are, we draw all kind of conclusions, and this wasn't sitting well with the...
They didn't understand what was being done.
Yeah. And therefore, at that point, the Foreign Commonwealth Office realized, they need a mass communication system out there. And they fast-tracked the loan as long as Cayman came up with, they quickly figured out what it was going to cost to put a radio station down, and said, we'll give you a soft loan for half of it. You come up with the rest of it. And this was where when the funds had to be approved for the Cayman side of it, Cayman government side of it, well, the vote came up tied. And Mr.
This was in the finance committee.
In the finance committee, yeah, it had gone through the deliberations in the vestry. It might have been at the same time, and got to the finance committee for final approval, and the vote came up tight. And again, you got it. It would have been during this really competitive political era in Cayman. The vote came up tight, and Mr. Vassell.
So he was chairman?
Yeah. He was financial secretary.
And so he was chairman of the finance committee?
Finance committee, yeah. And he told me in his own words, and like I said, I think it's in his book, the way I saw it, I believe, was that he realized, he knew because he was at that time also had development under his control. So this fall fell in place between development and communications and works. And he told me in his own words, he said, I said to myself, we need this facility, and if I lose my job in the morning, I'm going to vote for the funds.
Because as chairman, he could break the tie.
Yeah. But normally, if the vote came up tied, you would just let everything slide. You wouldn't, because remember, now he was a civil servant. He wasn't a politician, and this was where a lot of the kind of rub the old folks.
So tied, just leave it as a status quo.
Yes. So therefore, there would not have been the funds to really put this thing forward.
But luckily, Sir Vassell had the vision of what a radio station would mean to the Cayman Islands.
Yeah.
And I think it's fair to say, even today, this station, Radio Cayman, is where people turn for immediate information.
Dependable
I mean,
info.
Lots of competition around, a lot of stations, but Radio Cayman is the place where people turn when they want to know what is happening, whether it's weather or some situation.
At one time we ran a kind of promotional thing called saying Radio Cayman, if I can remember, Radio Cayman, the original. What we originate, others try to
imitate.
Imitate, but cannot duplicate.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, one of the things also I mentioned that you gave me my first broadcasting job, but there was also a theme this morning of the people who were here, that you were willing to give people a chance to come into broadcasting. Maybe they didn't have any training, but you just knew something about them that you said, this person can probably do this.
Yeah, well, Radio Cayman was established. It was to be a Cayman Islands radio station. So therefore, we wanted locals, tried to have as many locals as we could participating in the process. And that was, anyway, I believe it's still, that's part of the sort of ethos that, even though we've always welcomed others coming in, joining us here to do the job.
And I mean, you were always willing to more or less like take a chance on someone.
Yeah. There's some staff members that I hired that the powers that be called me up and said, be careful with this one, be careful with this one, be careful with this one. Mm-hmm. I never really questioned. Well, I might have questioned them. Well, what's the problem? And
no specifics.
Yeah, no specifics. It was just I said, well, I'll.
Well, it is 2:00. We're going to break away here to go to the newsroom, but Loxley's going to stay with me. And if you want to call and chat to him, you're welcome to give us a ring. Let's see what's making headlines.
Information, entertainment, inspiration.
Covering Grand Cayman, Little Cayman, Cayman Brac.
Since 1976 till now.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market.
With your latest headlines, I'm Elizabeth Charles. The Office of the Auditor General says government's workforce has grown sharply over the past 4 years. In a post today, OAG Cayman reports there were 7,894 public servants in 2024, a 14% increase since 2020. Average remuneration per public servant was $90,000. In international news, Venezuela's twin earthquakes have killed at least 920 people and injured 3,360, with 172 still believed trapped, a top lawmaker says on state TV today. Acting President Delcy Rodriguez says the quakes magnitudes 7.2 and 7.5 struck a minute apart on Wednesday night. Internal and local teams are searching through collapsed buildings. In other news, Apple and Xbox are the latest tech giants to raise device prices as soaring memory and storage chip costs hit consumer electronics. Apple says some MacBooks and iPads will go up by nearly 20% worldwide, blaming an, quote, extraordinary surge in demand for chips to power AI data centers and saying it has, quote, never seen a component price increase this much this quickly. The company says it has shielded customers so far, but now needs to raise prices on iPad and Mac hardware. Those are the latest headlines. I'm Elizabeth Charles.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Radio Cayman Talk Today continues.
Welcome back, and I'm talking to Loxley Banks, and this morning he was honored with having the Radio Cayman building named after him. So if you say you're going to Radio Cayman, you must be going to the Loxley Banks Broadcasting Center. And that's the official name. It's over the door there. Looking back over the years, anything in particular that you say, I'm proud of doing that? I mean, you got two stations here. I mean, I guess you're proud of that. But anything, that stands out in those that time that you said, I feel good about doing that?
Well, basically, I feel good about everything I've done. Mm-hmm. I've tried to structure it straightforward, and I think when and this goes back to when we were establishing the radio station. The one thing that I wanted, and also Mr. Dunlop bought into this, wanted us to be, is to make sure that we promoted the religious aspect of the community.
That was brought out this morning too.
Yeah, that we didn't want that not to be a part of the day part schedule broadcast that we had, that we were going to do. And we had, originally, it was called Music of Faith. Now it's called Praise Time, I think, in the morning. But it was an hour, whereas now it's half an hour. And, well, you heard Pastor James Arch make reference to they being on this radio station 49 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I can recall both his organization is Church of God Universal and Church of God Full Gospel Hall and several other ones around. They wanted to get on, and we embraced it, we welcomed it, and several. Well, I remember especially Universal and Church of God Gospel Hall going over there. Probably had to make a couple trips just to get them set up because they had, I think, tape recorder, but it was a anyway. You might remember Eddie Arch.
Yeah.
And he said, come over and see if we can help you get this thing straightened. And I said, okay, Eddie.
Yeah, it's one thing to have a tape recorder, but you got to know how to use it, right?
Yeah.
Well, we got a couple of calls there. I'm thinking about more than a couple. So let's go to the phone lines. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today. Hello?
Inspector Chalo.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon to you, sir, and to the Right Honorable Dr. Like I said, I'm sorry I couldn't make it this morning. But I couldn't make this opportunity pass and not call in.
Thank you.
So, congratulations, sir, and the honors was definitely something that you deserved, and I'm happy that the powers that be recognized it and did it while you're still with us. So again, congratulations, sir. And may you be around for the next 50 years.
Thank you, Ken. And, I think back to your dad every time I'd see him, and it was often because we'd run into each other in different places. He said, you keep playing that song. I think it was, don't let the stars get in your eyes, don't let the moon break your heart.
Uh-huh.
That was one of his favorites.
Yeah, I've heard him humming that on several occasions.
Yeah.
Especially after he had 1 or 2 minutes. Right.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you for calling.
My pleasure, sir, and you all have a great weekend.
You too.
Thanks.
Let's take another call. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Good afternoon. Charles Glidden. This is fellow West Player Mario Ebanks, and calling in this special word of congratulations to a great West Player icon, Loxley Banks. My good cousin just called before me, and he said a lot I was going to say, but I also was unable to make it this morning to the ceremony. My good brother John was there, attendance representing us, representing the family. So I'm sure that Loxley saw him.
Yeah, I did.
Yes. I just want to say, Loxley, that I admire you. I'm so happy that the government decided to name the Radio Cayman building after you. Very fitting, and more that needs to be done in the country. I just want to say that you are a good and decent and humble man. You really blazed the trails in radio and telecommunications in Cayman for decades, and we thank you for that. We owe you a debt of gratitude for that as a country. Wish you well in whatever else you do, and keep active. I know you're into history and politics, and in terms of history, that is, and keeping us reminded of all those things. So thank you very much for that. But congratulations on your recognition today, and I think is a good part of nation building. And also congratulations to Radio Cayman again on 50-year anniversary. And I would like to request a song in your honor today, if the good fella there,
Paul is taking note.
Paul could play the Trade Wind song "Where Are Your Heroes, Caribbean," in honor of Mr. Loxley Banks today as you sign off, or sometime this afternoon. But I think that's very fitting for him. And again, I thank you. God bless you, Loxley, and God bless Cayman Islands.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mario.
Thank you, Mario.
And I think we got another caller there. Yeah. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Hey, good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. You?
I'm great, and then I can hear my best friend there, Mr. Banks.
Hi.
Congratulations to you, and I think you did a splendid job. But as those old people used to say, but tell me something, you get knowledge from. Hey, you only showing us the best part of you now, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I read it this morning, but I was standing up and I got kind of beat up distance, so I said, you know what, I better go home and take a break. But when I hear you on the radio again, I said, what? You mean he's there again?
He never left.
You're a Superman, man. You know? So, anyway, thank you so much, and all the best to you, and hopefully we'll meet again soon. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for the call. You know, what Mario was talking about there, nation building and honoring our people, the Premier made a good point this morning. You put a name on a building, and he's talking about we need to do this more, and brag, whoever. And some child is going to look up and say, well, how come they named it after Loxley Banks? And somebody's going to tell them the story.
Yeah. Yeah, well, like I said, we have not been singing our song loud enough and often enough. And I made reference to this one. I think there's a fresh wind sort of blowing through the community and the governance that I believe we can look for this to happen more often. Hopefully, you know, because if we don't tell our story, it's going to get drowned. It's going to get trampled. And what kind of community would we have in Cayman? If you couldn't say it was. I know things evolve, but I think there needs to be that Caymanian ingredient in perpetuity, wherever we're headed.
Where do you see things going? I mean, especially with broadcasting in Cayman, a future Radio Cayman. What do you think? I mean, at one time, this was going to be expanded to TV also.
Yes, yes. In fact, when we put the second floor on, the big space that we got upstairs, or that's upstairs, was to be the television operation.
That was supposed to be the studio.
Yes. And well, you know, things evolve, and sometimes they evolve on certain people's concept of what they should be. And sometimes that's good and sometimes it's bad. And hopefully that we'll be able to keep it between the lines and keep it moving forward in a positive direction, positive process. But I believe that we got probably the last count that I actually had that I think was was sort of confirmed, 19 radio stations in this country. What other community in the world, and you know, Cayman, I think, has always been viewed as one of the most connected communities in the world. That is in modern times. Whereas in former times, it was hard keeping everybody connected.
Yeah, we were listening to radio coming out of Jamaica, RJR and JVC.
Yeah. And I would hope that that the national radio station does not get overpowered in the process. And it's when you got 19 or maybe 21, 22 radio stations in a small community, and the Cayman Islands is still a small community, competing for, and competition is good, but over competition is worse.
Yeah, because the slices of the pie get so small.
Yes.
Yeah, unless you have one big dominant player.
There you go. Yeah.
Do we need to take a break? We'll be right back after this break.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Freedom, Cayman Brack. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Cineco's parametric insurance after hurricanes is now available for motor policies. Fixed automatic payouts cover incidental vehicle expenses like fuel, cleanup, and minor repairs. No claims, no damage required. $200 for comprehensive policies or $100 for third-party policies. Available exclusively through Cineco and included with all new motor insurance policies and upon renewal for current policies. Visit Cineco.ky today. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and with me in the studio is Loxley Banks. And Cayman is also, like, I guess, any place in the world, got all of these international communications just coming at us left, right, and center with the internet. Do you see that as a competition that can overcome local information, that people aren't paying attention to what's going on locally?
Yeah, it could. I mean, you walk into a restaurant and everybody's on the phone. And even, that's what any public place you go, even the youngsters, I've seen them, I think as young as maybe 2 years old.
Oh, yeah.
And if all they're seeing is outside influences, then the battle is is lost.
I mean, I guess that's why it's so important, like a station like Radio Cayman, that we remain focused on local situations, local issues, current affairs.
CI sensitivity.
CI
sensitivity is what I use quite. In fact, in some of the.
Tell me about that.
Well, we're in the Cayman Islands, and I think that the Cayman Islands and what the Cayman Islands are, hopefully are, and what has brought us to this point. And we made remarks to the foundation that was built by our forefathers and foremothers and those that came before us. That has provided the foundation for what has come along, because in some other countries, they can't, an entrepreneur can't just walk in and find a platform where they can build their castles or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We had it here. We built it here. It's just that, and some local entrepreneurs were able to capitalize on it, but there, I guess, wasn't enough of us to really move it forward in the CI sensitivity mode.
What's your thoughts when you see? I mean, we just went through renovations here. The Radio Cayman that is developed, from the foundation that you laid. What are your thoughts when you and he still comes in here and does programs and stuff? What do you thought about Radio Cayman 2026?
Well, I think that we have made reference to this before. We have maintained what I would say is a somewhat adequate programming structure, informational structure, to try to keep it Caymanian. But with all the other impinging avenues, communications avenues, it could get buried to where you won't even hear it or recognize it. And I mentioned that sometimes, well, not sometimes. I think it's always the brightest light shining on the path of the future, or the way that it should be guided, is a light shining from behind you, telling you what might have went wrong, or what
showing you the way.
Yeah, yes. And I don't think that we embrace enough of that concept here in Cayman to keep it flowing CI sensitive.
But I mean, you must have a feeling of pride when you see, what you and others like Doran Miller built, the foundation which you left for others to carry on.
Well, yeah, definitely, and like I said before, there were so many people that made this, what we have here now, happen. Contribution.
Let's talk about Doran a little bit before we go, because it was mentioned this morning that when they told you about changing the name here, putting your name up, you didn't want to leave Doran out.
Well, no. Oddly enough, and while I was advocating for a radio station, and I didn't really, because Doran was about 10, maybe 15 years old anyway. I guess the first time I saw him, and he was in the Home Guard here, and he went to Jamaica and then went to Canada and spent quite a number of years, I think probably about 15 years with this Canadian Broadcasting Company. Yeah. But when I was advocating for a radio station, and like I said, I didn't learn this until we got together here, he was advocating for a television station.
Mm.
Now think about if, and I basically, I think, figured out why there was no convergence of the two of us at some point, with this communication thing forward. But just think, if that conversion had happened sometime between 1964 and say 1974 or 73,
mm-hmm.
how much, from my viewpoint, better electronic communications we would have, that is keeping it CI sensitive.
The two of you worked well together. I mean, I remember Doran saying that when the director's post came up, both of you applied for it.
I think so. Yeah.
And that there was an agreement between the two of you. Well, whoever gets it, the other one will support.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the two of you are really partners in this.
Yeah. Yes. And Doran was maybe more passionate about this CI sensitivity and the aspect of it. And in fact, one occasion that we were having some serious discussions about what we could say and what we wouldn't say, and we had to have conversations with the glass house. And he's saying to me, he said, "You go, because if I go over there, I'm going to tell them." Because
Doran wouldn't hold back.
Yeah. And I think if you know the Millers, that's
So we're coming down to the end of the line here. Any words you want to close us out with on thoughts about this whole development here, with you being honored today?
Well, I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart to the top, or from the top to the bottom. And I think more of that type of appreciation should be extended to any Caymanian that has made what's perceived as a good contribution or a positive contribution to the Caymanian, you want to call it the Caymanian ethos,
mm-hmm.
Hard work and faith.
But sometimes we don't put, better way, we don't like to put our fellow Caymanians up on a pedestal.
Right. But if you don't do that in the kind of society that has developed here, it's not going to exist.
Somebody else is going to get up on the pedestal.
Yes. And who better to put it on a pedestal, if you're going to put it on a pedestal, than a turtle meat and cornbread Caymanian.
That's a good one, Lux.
Well,
you're making me hungry now.
I think that's a good way to end.
Let's go to lunch. All right, Loxley, congratulations once again. Well deserved. I don't think anybody can, argue with that. So we're glad to walk under that name that's over the entrance there now. The Loxley Banks Broadcasting Center.
Let's keep it Caymanian.
Paul, you got Dave Martin's queued up there? Yeah? All right. Well, we're going to close it out now. You want to say something else?
Yeah. I think there's I think it's supposed to be in the library. There is basically maybe the sister song to this one by Dave Martin, by Coochie from Northside.
Mm.
And it talks about Caymanian heroes that should be recognized.
Loxley, pleasure to have you in here.
Keep it Caymanian.
Yeah. Well, that's it for us, but we're going to close out with Dave Martin's Caribbean. Where are your heroes? I'm Charles Glidden. One love.
Every country, it seems, without exception, they have memorials and statues to blow your mind. But the Caribbean man, I just don't understand. We don't have anything of that kind. We have a lot of history and plenty famous names, but like we don't want to talk about it. West Indians know about Daniel Boone and Jesse James. It's time we start blowing we own trumpet. So I'm asking you, where are your heroes, Caribbean? I don't see many statues on your streets, and you have no replicas of famous figures, men like Walcott and Kitchee. Where are your heroes, Caribbean? Show them to me. In the foreign countries, it's abundantly clear. You will see mementos from the past. They have postcards and plaques. They have statues everywhere, whether Leningrad, Rome, or Belfast. Mickey Mantle's name is enshrined in Yankee Stadium, 'cause he was really good with a baseball bat. An Olympic gold medal, Paisley Crawford won. Most are we already, don't forget that. So I'm asking you, where are your heroes, Caribbean? I don't see many statues on your streets, and you have no replicas of famous figures, men like Warrior and Vivi. Where are your heroes, Caribbean? Show them to me.
Talk Today is brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history. Explore your land. Explore your sister islands. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when